of people don't understand me, and a lot of people say, why does he say the controversial things he says? And the primary objective is to make people think, not to agree with me, to think. I'll say something which might be deemed racist or misogynistic to make you think, to make you sit there and go, wait, is that even true? No, I disagree with that. Here is why I disagree. Because the Overton window is here. We're only allowed to talk about the decorations on the Christmas tree. I want to talk about the tree. And to push the limits of the Overton window, you have to say the things you're not allowed to say. That's the reason I say the things I say. That's the reason I say them the way I say them. That's the reason I've done the things I do. To push the window over the Overton window, till eventually it gets large enough. We're not talking about decorations, we're talking about whether there should be a tree at all. That's why I'm largely misunderstood.
When I came here, I got so many texts that don't do this, because I am innocent, stupid, 24-year-old in the European Parliament that is associating myself with that you have all this kind of drama around your name. But I was like, fuck them. I want to talk everyone in the world, even people that they killed, even people, I want to understand what they said. Absolutely. And this is the world that I want to live, to hear the perspective of the others. And maybe I'm wrong. A lot of people don't like you in the European
that's a shame.
Union.
That's a shame.
Maybe in the United States, there's a bigger number of people that they like you. We're a bit more, I think, leftist in Europe as a whole.
Which is why you're being destroyed by the American government.
You live in Europe.
I know.
We are getting destroyed.
I can't leave yet. I can't leave yet, sir. The second thing I want to talk about is gender equality. We can sit here and give off 1,000 examples of how many times men have taken personal damage to do the right thing for society.
Also women.
Also women. Name some. Name some. I have to sign for the police quickly, and then I'll answer the rest of that question.
He signs for the police.
I'm on house arrest. I'm on house arrest.
Every day?
Yeah, every day I have to sign. Yeah, it's boring.
We sign also in the European Parliament. We get 350 euros every day we go there.
You know, when Europe talk about AI, it's like when you see a poor man talking about Ferraris. You're just sitting there going, a very interesting point of view. When you ain't got any. You ain't got one. So shut up. Elon's made the AI. America and China are in an arms race for AI. Europe doesn't make any AI because Europe doesn't have any companies. It does anything important because all the companies are leaving.
But that's why we need to change this, because if we lose the biggest race in the history of humanity, we're fucked.
I have a different appeal I'm going to make to the American military, which has spent its time going to Middle Eastern countries where the local populations hate them. Instead, please invade Europe. Please invade Europe, Trump and Elon. Please invade Europe because the locals want you here. This is actually very interesting because we're going to go back into gender for a second.
You love going back to the gender.
No, because
you love.
I like to.
Enough of gender stuff.
Sure. No problem.
Who are you, baby?
Who are you? You're the member of European Parliament, sir. You're the important one. I'm just a kickboxer.
Answer my question, though.
Who am I? Well, I've managed to become. I feel like I've been saying things everybody has already been thinking for a very long time. I feel like I've said that water is wet in a time where it needed to be said. But I've become a massive inspiration to the masculine youth of the world, which has also painted a target on my back. So to answer that question professionally and compendiously, it's hard. I'm a kickboxer, I'm an influencer, I'm a businessman. I am a political prisoner inside of the beautiful country of Romania. I'm lots of different things. What about you? Because you were a YouTuber and now you're the most transparent politician inside of the European Parliament. So what would you say?
Well, today we're going to talk a lot about politics, about what the metrics is, because I think I see the metrics, I'm from the inside and I see what this, and I'm not sure if this metrics is like something organized. I think it's just bureaucracy. Wouldn't you agree with? It's just basically the system.
Well, that's a really good question because I've had lots of different theories thrown my way. They'd say that it's organized by these shadowy figures hiding in a room somewhere trying to destroy the world. And then some people just blame incompetency. Some people just blame bureaucracy. Some people just blame lots of different interest groups, which are all trying to constantly compete, which of course is human nature. The banks want certain things and the farmers want something else and all these different powerful lobbies pushing against each other. So yeah, what is the matrix? It's a really good question. And I guess the real question is also, because you're a lot deeper into it than I am, how deep really are you? Like how much power do they really have in that room? Is there another room? How does Ursula keep winning when no one likes her? Like what's really going on maybe behind that? I don't know, you know more than me. Is that an illusion? Is democracy real? Is the matrix something else behind that? The reason I would say, however, is that it is organized and it's not bureaucracy, is because there are some subjects which you simply cannot seem to vote your way out of. It doesn't matter what team you vote for, you cannot avoid going to war with Russia. Everybody is saying give money to Ukraine. Everyone in the population, every European doesn't want this. Everyone's saying no. But no matter which politician you get in there, all they talk about is how they must send money to Ukraine to fight Russia. Unlimited and unchecked migration is another one. Most Europeans want their country to stay like the country they remember. They want people around them to think like them, look like them, speak the same language. That's what they want. But it doesn't matter who you vote for. You can't seem to get it. There are a few subjects which are just beyond democracy, which would, I guess, beg the conclusion that it is being planned. It is being orchestrated by somebody.
Immigration is one thing that we are going to talk later about. But so you are saying that there is some people behind orchestrating this. Is this kind of something billionaires, George Soros, and all these types of people? I don't know, like that these people are saying.
Well, it's interesting because money is the simple answer. It's easy to say that they're doing these things for money. But at a certain level, and I can even talk from personal experience, and I'm really not that rich, money doesn't become interesting anymore. What becomes interesting? Power.
We're going to talk about exactly how rich you are later as well.
Well, we can give a number. But you're not interested in money, you're interested in power. What you want is people to do as you say, which is why you want money in the first place. So you can hire staff or influence elections, whatever it is. Money is power. When you get to a certain level, you're no longer interested in the money because the money is something you print. It's something you make up. It's imaginary. The money is not real, as we all know. So from there, you're primarily concerned with power over and control over people. So then you'd have to ask yourself, and if you don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, and I try not to be, I try to be very logical about these things. Who wants absolute control over the European populace? Well, the leaders of Europe, as well as the enemies of Europe. There's lots of people who would want absolute control over the European populace.
So you are talking about incentives now. Who has incentive to control?
Yeah, who has incentive and who has influence. So who can do these things? Who can influence the politicians to always, constantly, no matter what, dedicate themselves to self-destruction, dedicate their economies to self-destruction, to go to war with Russia, despite the fact their constituents don't want that? Who has that kind of power?